characters, if I may. So I was recently in the administration as an Assistant Secretary for Health and an Admiral in the Public Health Service. And I got to know COVID pretty closely, being on the President's task force at the White House. And we recognize that there are a lot of people in uniform who do a lot of things for our country, but there are also civilians who make marked contributions that really do change the world in a way that the U.S. government could never do. Peter, aside from everything else he has done, I think has made a marked contribution to the world in recovery from COVID. Because tourism is not just go and see nice places, it's what we are as humans. To go see different cultures, to understand that we're all common under the same God, that we appreciate other people's backgrounds and their cultures, and that makes us bigger. And there's probably no one metric that will say we're over COVID than when we could travel to international destinations again and visit everyone. Now, we can go through a lot of things, the World Tourism Network, which you're an executive director of, with 120 nations represented, trying to bring the world back together. You're probably as responsible for Saudi Arabia and Israel getting together with your, your work in Saudi Arabia. So in my former role, I'm going to assume that identity. I wanted to present Peter something on behalf of the nation. So if you could stand up. Okay. So I'm going to present Peter officially with the United States Medal for Outstanding Civilian Service for COVID-19. I'm going to tell you about it a little bit. I hope I could pin this on correctly without my glasses on. And if I stab you, it's...
It's okay, I know a doctor.
We're going to work on this.
He's been vaccinated.
See if I can get the other one on. So this is reserved for civilians who've made a significant contribution to supporting the end of the global pandemic. It has a lot of symbolism on it. It has sort of the globe in the background signifying we designed this. I designed it. My team, we got it approved through all the U.S. government channels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The globe signifying the global pandemic. It has a shield, again, a typical shield against evil and the pandemic. It has the chalice of Hygeia, the goddess of preventative medicine. It has the two snakes of Asclepius, the father of Hygeia, and they stand for wisdom and health. And the actual colors on the ribbon, the coronavirus signifying the sun. So you see the red and orange glow. On the outside is red, white, and blue, with the United States attacking and ultimately defeating the coronavirus. And green, of course, the symbol or color for hope and for health. So Peter, on behalf of the nation.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
I don't know what to say.
Aloha and good afternoon. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, joining you from livestream.travel in Honolulu, Hawaii. And you just listened to Admiral Brett Giroir. And Peter will tell us more who he is, because Peter is the proud recipient of an award. And this award also is mentioning Peter's activities with the World Tourism Network. So we're all quite proud of you, Peter. And I don't even want to start with the weather because it's not really significant. It's a little bit on the rainy side here today, but I think you must have had a real sunny day after your 75th birthday party and getting one of the most prestigious awards from a former Assistant Secretary of Health.
Yeah, it was a really a day of sunshine, not only in the sky, but I think also in my own life. And it came as a total surprise. Admiral Giroir is, of course, one of the most famous people in the public health sector, and was really one of the leaders in the United States fight against COVID. And he has been following everything we do. He's a regular listener to our broadcasts. And he was very much aware of the World Tourism Network. And though the award was given to me, in a sense, it really should go to the everyone who's participated in the World Tourism Network, because as you heard, he understands that you cannot have a world back to normal if you don't have tourism. And so I was the recipient of a special award that the United States government has developed for those people fighting against COVID-19. And this is the highest civilian award that the U.S. Public Health Service gives. So you cannot get an award that's higher than this. And what it's really is recognition that everything that we're all doing to try to find methodologies, find ways to unite the world so that tourism helps the world to come back to where we need to be. And he was very much aware of our Health Without Borders initiative and the importance of that Health Without Borders, because Dr. Giroir, who's a world famous physician, understands very clearly that viruses don't stop at a nation's borders. And especially in today's world where there's travel, there's unfortunately human trafficking, there's illegal immigration that's taking place in so many areas, and people are carrying their diseases with them. And so the fact that the World Tourism Network has created an international set of awareness to work together, so not only rich countries, but also poor countries have an idea of the importance of vaccinations, the importance of getting people back to normal and back to life. And that's what this award is all about. It's given to me, I'm the recipient, but in a sense, I'm nothing more than a symbol for the entire tourism industry. And I think everyone in the World Tourism Network should be so proud, because this is a group of people. They're not the wealthiest people in the world. They're not the biggest industries in the world. What we compose of in the World Tourism Network is the small and the medium businesses coming together and creating a sense of replicating the ideas that were expressed at the WTTC by the president of Colombia, former president of Colombia, that every nation has to work together. And in that sense, I support what President Biden also has been saying, that if any of us are weak, all of us are weak. So we all have to work together to eradicate illness. And the World Tourism Network is a key leader in this major initiative.
No, absolutely, Peter, and don't be too humbled. You're a key person, not only for the World Tourism Network. You have done this for more than World Tourism Network is alive, for it is only since December, and you've made great contributions to travel and tourism.
And of course, one of the things, as you heard, he recognized the fact of all our work in tourism security, and the fact that tourism security brings not only protects the tourism industry from people who might be not so good, but it also helps us all work together to realize that we're all one common family living on a very small planet in one small corner of the universe. And we have to band together to help each other, because as people, as a human race, we have more in common than we have issues that divide us.
Yeah. So today it was also a good day for World Tourism Network. We have actually been in the news now 3 times today. And the other part, World Tourism Network has supported the move by the Biden administration in working on the relaxation of the patent for vaccine like Pfizer or Moderna to be more widely, be able to be produced more widely in the third world specifically. Because as you rightfully say, and I know you're not a big friend of President Biden, but as you rightfully say, you recognize that no one is safe until everyone is safe. So
And, you know, I think like every American, if you voted for President Biden or not, you hope that he will be a success. And I think we all have to support where he says something and I agree with, I will support him.
and that's really how it should be. You know, I hope, without getting politically correct or incorrect here. We all should work together, specifically when it comes to the COVID situation. That is something what is an issue for everyone in the world. And hopefully it's not going to divide the world. It brings the world together. And there's a good, one of the good opportunities. Also, the
Absolutely.
Tourism Network today uh, welcomed Travel Manitoba as one of our members. And Manitoba, of course, is known as the Canada's heartbeat because it's kind of the Midwest in Canada. And
Yes.
I've been to Winnipeg a number of times. Really interesting city to visit, good food, and they have the Human Rights Museum. So it's something you really should, if you have a chance to travel to Winnipeg, that's something you should really put on your bucket list
Yeah.
to visit the Human Rights Museum. And so we're very happy that Manitoba is joining us, and
Manitoba, yeah.
Manitoba will play an, a leading role in the future of rebuilding tourism into Canada. In other news today, the IATA welcomes the G20 push to restart tourism. We see how that goes. And LATAM Group zero waste to landfill by 2027 and carbon neutral, big plans. And Europe is starting a new charter airline called European Air.
So you think that these signs are part of the fact that the tourism industry is starting to get back on its feet and we're going to be seeing people traveling more? Certainly, I think a big event will be different types of travel. For example, the CDC today came out with some guidelines for summer camps. Some of them are very strange guidelines. Like they tell children they have to wear a mask except if they fainted or are unconscious. Well, I'm not quite sure how, if you're unconscious, you know, you also do not have to wear a mask while swimming. But considering the chances of children getting COVID is very small, you really kind of wonder why they would make those guidelines. Interestingly enough, the medical profession much of the medical profession has opposed the CDC. And so that's a real problem in tourism, because if people start losing faith in the CDC, that's will be a major problem both in the United States and in Europe. So I don't know quite what they were thinking, but summer camps are an important part of the tourism industry, a very important part. They're big business in the United States, in Europe, in Israel, in parts of Africa, Australia. And also having summer camps allows couples, families, when your children are at summer camp, then the couple can travel someplace else. So it's really intertwined with the whole. I know people don't think of summer camps as part of the tourism industry, but they really are a very important part of the tourism industry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there is a lot of conflicting information. There has been a lot of conflicting information over the year when it comes to CDC. An issue we reported yesterday here in our home state, it appears tourists were not really counted when in the COVID numbers. What actually Hawaii did, it counted anyone visiting and who contracted COVID, and even our strict policies, there are people, and we heard this from a nurse who works in a testing center. So when they're counted, they immediately counted in the state's numbers. But 2 days later, when the investigation finds out they're from another state, these numbers are taken off the Hawaii system and then put into the home states or home country system. So there is a lot of misinformation and maneuvering still going on. And we can only all work together to get rid of this virus, I think. Then we get rid of all these other problems as well.
Well, we're seeing also, though, some hopes. It's a little too early for us to give too much detail, but tomorrow, both of us will be dealing with some new possible, and I want to emphasize the word possible, tourism initiatives in the Maldives. And that could be really exciting for the Indian Ocean basin. We're seeing a number of countries work together. Of course, in the Muslim world, we're coming toward the very end of Ramadan, and that means that people will be a whole switching back to daytime versus nighttime eating, and normality of the other of the 11 months of the year will be returning. Right now, this is an interesting time for someone to travel to the Muslim world because they get to see a really unique experience, and all sorts of special festivals will be taking place, especially May 11th, which is not far away, dealing with the end of the Ramadan period and all sorts of special festivals that will be happening. So if you're going to the Middle East, this would be a very interesting time to travel there and to learn lots about what's happening, assuming you can get in, because there's not a COVID restriction. So that's unfortunately in today's world, that's something we always have to take into consideration.
No, absolutely. And Peter, again, congratulations to your award.
Thank you. And really congratulations to all of us, because I think what Dr. Giroir was recognizing was the wonderful work that the World Tourism Network is initiating. It's such a young organization, and yet it's done so much. And I would hope that other organizations will begin to emulate all the work that we're doing.
Wonderful, Peter. Well, I guess we talk to you tomorrow.
Yes.
And please stay tuned. If you wanted to look at this or any other events, you can go to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/eTurboNews or youtube.com/travelnews. It's the same. And you can watch all our various discussions Peter and I had, and much more, many of our Zoom sessions from around the world. And you always find it, of course, also at livestream.travel.
And one of the nice things I think that people now see, there's a wonderful red button that I looked at. And when you want to hear something, you just push that button. You can't miss it. And I really think it's a big help in helping people get right to the conversation they want to hear. So I think everyone's really going to like this new concept that we've come up with. I hope so.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. And the red button to subscribe is important because you get notifications when there are new events. And as you can see, we had some changes on our website too. What makes it maybe a little bit more
fun. More fun.
You can actually now, in order to hear our live stream, you will see there is a live stream, but you actually have to push on play. It's not going to start playing automatically in the middle of your other conversations. So we keep it up, we leave it up to you. If you want to watch the live stream, you'll be notified, you can see it. Just click on it and you can join in.
And what we're doing is we're empowering people so they can listen to it when they want.
Thank you, Peter. And
take care. Good night from Texas. I guess good afternoon to Hawaii. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Peter. You have
Bye-bye.
a good